Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In this video, you'll be watching me do a nail removal and then a Halloween Pennywise kind of freestyle set. Now, this was one of my favorite sets for this season's Halloween. Now, so the bit that I'm going in with right now is my extra coarse bit. Now I got this from my local nail supply store. I'll try to find a similar one from Amazon or from somewhere else, and I'll link it down in the description box. But right now I have this set to 10 to 15 RPM, and basically what I'm doing is pretty much just sanding all of the acrylic off. I find this way is better for me because when it comes to soaking off, you have to use a whole bunch more products as far as the acetone, the foil if you're using the foil in a cotton swab method, or if you're doing the dip method. It's just a lot. So I just find that with me just sanding off the nail and throwing the dust in the trash can and calling it a day, or I say you can invest into a dust collector. Now, those are nice as well, but the ones that I've tried in my past, I didn't really find that it was really getting all of this. It was getting some of it, not majority of it, so I was like, it's kind of pointless, because either way it goes, it'll still be dust everywhere that I'll have to dust off my table and then sweep up, the whole shebang. But when you are doing this, you want to make sure you're not filing in the same area so you don't cause heat rings. Also, you don't want to go too deep and end up sanding through her nail. So with me, I've been doing this method for as long as I can remember, so it's pretty easy for me as far as knowing when to stop and what areas do I need to go over to get the extra acrylic, because after this step I'll go in as far as the regular prepping that I do with the sanding band, the cuticle bit, and things like that, and I'll use the sanding band to kind of smooth it. Also try to get a little bit more of the acrylic. Now, depending on how thin my client's nails is, how thick they are, sometimes I will leave a little bit of the acrylic on the nail towards the base in the middle, not so much towards the tip area. I try to get as much of the acrylic off of the free edge of her nails, just for the simple fact that I find that the glue that I use when applying the tips, it sticks on way better to the actual nail rather than sticking on to a little bit of acrylic and then nail. So I find that'll also help with the lifting and things like that. Now, as you notice, I am sort of kind of using my thumb to go over her nail. Now, I'm using this to check the heat to see if it's getting too hot, as well as to see where is majority of the acrylic is laid, so I know where to base where I'm filing. So the rubbing thumb method, I strongly advise this. If you wear gloves, I say cut a little strip or cut one of your fingers out, just so, because that the feeling the heat through the glove, you're not gonna feel it. I promise y'all are not gonna feel it. But if you have that one finger out exposed, just to rub along the finger, just to make sure it's not getting too hot and you're not going through her nail, because with some acrylics, if you're filing off clear acrylic, then it'll kind of be hard to determine where her natural nail and the acrylic meets, because depending on who she went to before, or if she went to you and you laid that acrylic down bomb and it's just on her nail, sometimes you're not going to be able to tell. So I advise leave like a very, very thin layer of acrylic towards the base of her nail and things like that, just to be sure. And then go in with that sanding band. The sanding band is your safety net when it comes to this. So use that and you should be good. So now for my prepping after I have removed all of her previous acrylic. It's basically the same with me, guys. I just went ahead and added this clip in so that I could go ahead and give y'all the full rundown as far as everything that happens when I do have a client come in needing her nails removed. So I'm going in with my sanding band. It's at 5,000 RPM. So I use this to shape up her free edge. I also go in to remove the shine as well as try to get a little bit more of that leftover acrylic. I also use this to sort of kind of push back the cuticle. Now, I'm not saying I'm digging into her cuticle with the sanding band. I promise you I'm not hurting her whatsoever. But I'm kind of using it in a pushing motion to kind of push her cuticle up. Now I do this instead of using the cuticle pusher just because it kind of eliminates that extra time used when using a cuticle pusher. Now granted, it could only be about like 2 to 3 minutes, but that's 2 to 3 minutes that's not added to your time, you know. So then after my sanding band, I'll go in with my small cuticle bit to go in and get that extra dead skin from her nails. Then I'll go in with my cuticle cutters to cut all the excess skin. And then I went ahead and skipped the applying tips part and just went ahead to the shaping. So I'm just gonna let y'all watch this through and I'll come back. So before I get into filing, I want to add a quick note. When adding double tips for the second tip, you want to go 2 sizes smaller than the tip that you added to the nail. Now, I say this because it already sort of almost fits the tip of the nail when you go 2 sizes shorter, so that'll help eliminate all the extra filing trying to get the tip of the nail to be flush with the second nail. So do this and I promise y'all it'll save y'all a lot more time when doing double tips, or you can go ahead and buy them extra long tips. I necessarily don't do this because I don't get too many clients wanting the extra long tips. I have extra long tips like in the back, you know, for my clients who do get them. But for the ones like this, like I just feel like, plus like the boxes of these tips are only probably like $7 now on Amazon. So I'm not, you know, I'm not tripping on using an extra tip, y'all. But yes, do that and that'll help y'all a lot. Now, going into this filing. So you want to stay against the nail. Keep the file straight against the edge of the nail. And then for the tip, because it kind of hooks over because it wants to imitate as if it was glued onto the nail and not a nail tip, you want to kind of go under and file underneath, also sort of shaping it upward to kind of make it flush with that second nail that you glued it to. When it comes to application, I am sort of solely based on the one bead method. Now, as you notice, I placed my bead sort of kind of towards the middle where her free edge and almost close to the cuticle, but not too close, because this brand that I'm using, this black, is from my local nail supply store, and it is kind of runny. Now, when it comes to my more runny products, when I'm doing the one bead method, I put it a little further from the cuticle, just so if it decides to run all over the place, I'm not exposing her cuticle to it, because we want to keep it as close to the cuticle, but you don't want it touching the cuticle, and that'll help you guys with the lifting. Now, the lifting, that's in the nail world a big no. I find that this helps tremendously. My nails last for about 4 to 6 weeks, y'all. I be asking my clients, I be like, hey girl, how long your nails last? So like, girl, some of them be like, I just took them off last night. I'm like, oh really? They be like, yeah. I ask, and I'll be like, were they lifting? Did any fall off? They be like, no girl, I actually had to take them off, and things like that, So yes, y'all, I definitely advise doing this. I also want to say, apply the acrylic as if you had no filing tools. Now, what I mean by this is apply the acrylic thin, but not too thick. Now, what I mean by this, now you can, make the nail as thick as possible, because, you got your filing tools, you can file it away, all that good stuff. But you also want to save on your products, because who wants to be out here buying products every day or every week? And yes, and things like that. Now, I also cap when it comes to solid colors as well, because I like to save on my acrylic. So when I go to file, I'm basically just filing that clear acrylic that I had capped. And you also want to make sure that you are looking at the nail from all angles to make sure your apex is on point. It's not too bumpy, too lumpy, you don't have craters. Just make sure you turn in that nail. Have your client have her wrists relaxed so that you're able to maneuver her nail in her hand as you see fit, to make sure you can lay that acrylic down. The way that I do majority of my glitter nails, most of my glitters are purchased from Amazon, but they are just glitters. They are not the glitters mixed with acrylic. Now, I find this way is more cost savvy because it's cheaper to just order the glitters rather than ordering the glitters with the acrylic, because you're also paying for the acrylic that are in them. Now, when it comes to glitter, I don't use glitter like that, and they're pretty much just sitting in my drawer waiting until I do like a freestyle or one of my clients actually do want glitter. So what I'll do is I'll just dip my brush, get a bead of clear acrylic, and then I'll go and dip it into my glitter. And this is just easier. Now I can go and make like individual buy like some little jars, put glitter in it, and make my own little acrylic glitters, but I don't know. This is just, it saves time. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I should say it saves time. In my opinion, I think the time is the same if you would use acrylic and glitter. Well, I don't know. Honestly, what do y'all think? Let me know. Drop a comment. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all subscribe. If y'all leave a comment, I will definitely try my hardest to come and answer y'all questions as best as I can. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think it's easier to just do it with the glitter and acrylic mix, or to just get the acrylic and then dip it into the glitter? Let me know down below. The drill bit that I am using is a tapered barreled extra fine bit, and I got this off of Amazon. I'll have it linked down below. Now I'm using this on, I'll usually go from 10 to 15, majority 15 as far as the RPM. Now, going back to what I said about applying the acrylic as if you had no filing tools. So basically what I'm just doing is just cleaning up. I am not filing too much acrylic off or any extra. I'm really just cleaning up. I really could have gone in and just used a file. I know some people do the manual way and just file and buff, but I am more comfortable, and I've been using an e-file since I've been doing nails, so it'll usually take me about a minute to a minute and a half to file one nail. Well, no, I'm gonna say a minute to 2 minutes to file one nail, yeah, because sometimes it'll take me 15 to 20 minutes for the whole e-filing process. I've been trying to crack down on that, because I know when I first started doing nails, it would take me, when I very first started, it took me an hour, and then I got it down to 30 minutes, and now I'm at 15 to 20 minutes. So every time I'm doing nails, I'm trying to find different ways to get my clients in and out with the best quality nail, because you know you don't want to rush and give them sloppy work, but you know, I don't think of it as rushing. I think of it as a challenge, you know, and then, you know, it's good word to the mouth, you know. If she's going out to tell people about her nails that she just got done, they looking bomb. I just got them done in an hour. Girl, go get yours done. You know. Now for this set, it didn't take me an hour. It took me 2 hours with all of the nail art and the stones. It usually do take me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to do my extra long sets, no matter how much they have on them. It really depends on how much conversation me and my client have going on, because I don't know if y'all noticed, but in my press on nail video, I was moving and talking with my hands a lot. I've been trying to minimize on that, because you know, if you're talking with your hands and you're interacting with your client, you're not doing the nails. So I say the time for me really depends on how much conversation is provided. So the gel polish that I am using is the Beetles gel polish. I got these off of Amazon. Now y'all, I've had these polishes since I started nails 2 years ago in August. Now they've been holding me over. I just been trying to kind of get to use them and get rid of them so I can get some better ones in, because I find with most of these polishes you do have to use a lot of coats. Now a tip that I want to put out, this can be helped by putting a base coat of white first when it do come to the less opaque colors, and you wouldn't have to use as many coats, because for this set I used 3 coats. I honestly wanted to use 5 coats but my client, she needed to get out the door and I didn't want to hold her up, and I felt like the 3 coats did well enough job as far as the theme that I was trying to go with her set. And then when it did came to the other fingers with the nail art, I did have to go in and reapply a second coat of black when it came to the eyes, because the Beetles black, it's kind of like a clearish black. It's not opaque at all. I do not like it at all, but it's what I had, and I've been trying to find ways to use acrylic paint. I did 2 sets with acrylic paint and it didn't work out the same day I did it. They didn't last. I think it was because I didn't do 2 coats, but I'm gonna still experiment with the acrylic paint, see what I can do to get that fixed, because I do love working with paints as far as gel polishes and things, or I just haven't found the right gel polish for me. If y'all do have some recommendations, please drop them down below and I will try them out for y'all in another video. Well, alright, that concludes me talking in this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all so much for watching my videos and supporting me. I will see y'all in my next.